Hey guys, Orchid here from MogNation, bringing you a video about my new DXRacer chair. A few people in MogNation helped me determine what the best chair was for me, so I'm going to do a slight review on the chair I picked out, which is the DXRacer Sentinel, and also go over some of the things that I found out while trying to find my new chair.
I think we're good. I think we nailed it.
No. I
It
mean,
was a good segment here. It was good.
we all learned something very useful about lockpicking. I mean, you don't just smash the E button, you actually have to, do something.
You're a dick.
So first off, Mog Nation is all about the casual hardcore gamer. So basically people with lives otherwise than just gaming. So as you can see in the background, I have my wife sitting at the table, my kids dancing around, my dog walking by. So that's an average mogger for you. Anyways, getting back to the chair, so I picked out the DXRacer Sentinel. So there's a lot of factors that went into this, and the first and foremost important thing to me was the budget. So I set my budget at $400 mainly because now I'm working from home full time and spend my time in the evening either watching shows on my computer or gaming or just sitting around and just doing antics with other people while browsing the web. So $400 was kind of a large budget for it, but I wanted to make sure I was going to get something worth the money. So first, if you go out to the DXRacer website, let's go check this out. You'll see that this is actually a $459 chair. So if you look in my favorites, oh, I didn't save it. Well, I found a promotion code of Fantasy 2017, all one word. And this ended up giving me like a 20 or 25%, I think it was 15 or 20% discount, something like that. So it ended up being under $400, which was perfect because that was my budget. I don't want to go over that. So a lot of the stuff I started looking into was the different kinds of chairs, GT Omega. I was looking at DXRacer. I mean, if I do a quick Google search on just gaming chairs, let's see what I came up with I was looking on Amazon, Newegg, Gaming Factors, ROZ, Target, Wayfair. I mean, I was looking everywhere. I was trying to figure something out for myself. But I ended up with DXRacer because, one, it has a lot of good reviews online. It has a lot of good videos talking about a lot of the pros of DXRacer. It's also a chair that's been out there for a while, and it's proven the test of time that it actually has a dependable and nice product. And also, just mostly what pushed me over the edge was the people of Mog Nation commenting about how they've never heard of anyone not liking a DXRacer chair. The people that do have one gave me really good feedback, so I went ahead and made the decision to buy this one. Some of the things that went into consideration when I was buying my chair was, one, I didn't want to buy another cheapo chair. I have 5 chairs now in my house that have ripped fabric. The tilting mechanism is broke on one of them, so when I sit down it just kind of leans to one side and it's very uncomfortable. Let's see what else is there. There's another chair my son uses for gaming in the living room. It didn't have any armrests on it, so that got old real fast. And another one that was just a standard chair that had some armrests that were built all on the side, and I didn't like it because it wasn't very comfortable the way I sit in a chair. I like to prop my foot up under my leg and sit like that, so it gets pretty uncomfortable after a while. So the things that I took into consideration. So number one, which something after I bought this chair, I found out I really like this feature, is the 3-inch PU polyurethane tire caster wheels on the DXRacers. So I never really noticed this before, but all 5 of my chairs all have the regular plastic rollers on them. So when I get up early in the morning, or if I'm working late at night, or if I'm on my computer late at night, and I go to roll my chair, it makes a very loud sound. With this one, I can roll around quite a bit, and it doesn't make any sound at all. I mean, it's really nice. I have my chair on tile, so it doesn't really make any sound when I'm rolling it around. So another thing I liked is the base of it on the bottom here is made of metal, aluminum, I think. Let me just scroll down here. Blah, 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 blah. Yep, there we go. Strong aluminum base, and they're not kidding. The thing is pretty heavy. It's heavy duty. It's made of metal, so it's dependable and it's gonna last a while. They got these little plastic red cover things. I'm not quite sure why they decided to do that, but it gives a little bit of an accent to the chair. It looks pretty neat. You can see it on my pictures here. Um, so one of the other things I noticed right away when I got this chair is it sits pretty high. My desk is now, I think, maybe too low for me. I'm not too sure if it's a standard size desk or maybe it is too low. But if I roll my chair, it won't go underneath because the armrests I keep up almost level with the desk now. And the chair itself sits very high up off the ground without even raising it up at all. So that's one thing to consider when you're buying a chair is you may want to check the specs on the chair and see what the height is. If you go into the DXRacer site, they got a features section here, and it will show you exactly what it is. But I didn't really take that in consideration, so I did not know it buying it, but it doesn't matter to me because so I'm 5'9" and my feet still touch the ground, but if I do prop my foot up underneath my leg will swing around a lot. So I didn't have that with my old chairs, but it's nothing too big. Maybe this will force me to actually sit the right way and not be so bad at sitting, I guess. Um, So let's see, what else is there? The raising on it can go very high. So if you are a taller gamer, you're over the 6 foot mark, you're going up into the 6'5", 6'7" even range. I saw a lot of reviews on that too, that this chair is really built for a tall or big gamer. I consider myself to be a big gamer. I'm 5'9", I'm 250-ish pounds, and I feel like I take up a lot of the seat. But this seat, one of the things that I love about this is here. So if you look at the DXRacer chairs, I'm going to go back in here. You go into the DXRacer chairs, you'll notice that a lot of these have these little side things on the seat itself that curve up. And when I looked at that, that was one of my concerns, is because I like to either prop my foot up, or I sit and spread my legs out a little bit, or I kind of lean and then push my one leg off to the side. So that was something that when I was looking at these chairs, I didn't think I was going to end up getting a racing chair until I saw the Sentinel. And when I picked out the Sentinel, I actually went with the big and tall here. I went with this model here, the OH SJ11NR, for the fact that this chair's seat is level with those little things that come on the side. I don't know what they're called, but it's actually where the frame, the metal frame, sits in here. So I'm glad that's a little bit lower. It kind of makes for a little bit more comfortable seating, and it really is comfortable. There's a lot of padding in here. I noticed a huge difference from my last chair to this chair, where the foam that they use in here is very, very thick. My chairs that I've had before, I mean, they go out over time. It's a given. You buy any kind of chair, over time it's just going to go out on you, and it's going to get lumpy, or it's going to start fading down, or whatever. But this one has a lot of it in it, so hopefully that'll stand up over time. So let's see, what else is there? Oh, yeah, so I took a picture of this because one of the things they don't really show you in a lot of the pictures on a lot of the sites, but I'm really curious about the tilting mechanism on this one when I was looking into it, because there's a lot of different chairs out there that, the way they connect to the seat and the base through that tilting mechanism, that's actually something really important to me, because I've had 2 chairs now that have broken at the tilting mechanism, which there's these little O-rings where the chair kind of rocks back and forth. and those little O-rings that kind of hold the seat and let it tilt and rotate, they broke. So after a while they break, and then the chair starts to get real wobbly, and then eventually it's just very uncomfortable. So this one is really nice because this mechanism, it does have the same thing or something similar, but it's built a lot more tougher. The other thing as well is in a standard budget chair, I'll call it, cheap chair, when you buy those, it's actually connecting on a wood piece inside the chair, which I found out the hard way when I cracked one of those. I was sitting in the chair, leaning back, and just kind of pushing back a little bit more, a little bit more, and then all of a sudden I heard a snap. And that's when I found out these things connect with screws into a wood piece. So all the budget chairs, all the lower costing chairs, they're actually a very thin foam or some type of foam inside there on wood, essentially. So it's not very comfortable and it's not very durable. But these chairs are made out of a metal frame. You go through all these racing style chairs and they boast about how they have a metal frame. When you look at the pictures of all these different types of frames, they're exactly the same. I mean, you look at when they show you the pictures on their websites, they're basically all using the same exact frame. It's a metal alloy frame with these, like you can see here, the green bungee straps that help flex with when you sit. They're in the back of the seat, they're on the bottom of the seat, and then it's just metal tube frame throughout the thing. So you're not buying something special with DXRacer versus the other ones, as far as I can tell. You know, maybe they build it a little bit different, but from what I could tell from all the pictures and all the different styles, they essentially look all the same. So I don't think you're really getting much difference there. But this I liked a lot because you're connecting a metal tilting mechanism to a metal frame, and that should hold up over time. Another nice thing that they don't really mention too much on the DXRacer site, and I know it's not mentioned on a lot of the other sites, is the arm connectors. This one from DXRacer connects with 4 of these screws, and it's, I think, a little bit stronger. You also have the choice of unscrewing those, and you can slide those armrests in a little bit more or out, depending. I think they set them out as far as they can go, but you can move them in if they're a little too far. But going back to the DXRacer site here, so when you look at the chair, that's another thing a lot of these sites are boasting about is their adjustable arms. They're all 4-dimensional, so you can move them up and down, you can move them in and out, you can rotate them in and out, and you can move the pads forwards and backwards. So they're all the same. The main thing you're going to want to look at when you're looking at the armrest is how much room do you have on that armrest. I think the DXRacer had quite a bit. It's a pretty thick armrest. I'll pull up one of my pictures here. I don't know that I got one, but you can kind of tell it's got enough room. There are some ones that were pretty skinny and look like they would be uncomfortable over time. I've seen some videos where people just buy these little cushions and put them on their armrest to add that extra cushion to your armrest if you want it. So going back, there's 2 types of tilting mechanisms. There's one that you simply just pull the lever, and then you can rock back and you can kind of rock yourself in it. But the only way it locks is when it's in the upright position only. This one that DXRacer has for the Sentinel and some of their other models, it actually has a mechanism that you can unlock it, tilt it back, and then lock it and would put it in whatever position. I don't know if you're really going to get the effect from this, but let me try it. So I can go like this and just tilt my chair back, and then I can lock that in, and it'll say tilt it back. And that's not, there's a separate one, as you can see on the side of the chair. There's this the back part will just go straight down. Here, I'll do that one as well. Oh gosh, there we go. So that one goes back, and you have a tilt mechanism that locks as well. So you have 2 different ways to tilt back your chair. Now I got to get it set it back up right the way I like it. There we go. And so that was one that I really, really liked because I've never had a chair at home that gives me that option, and I really like it because I don't keep it completely forward. I don't I don't like the feeling of feeling like you're being pushed or kind of being held forward too much. So I like to lean back in my chair. Like I said, I don't have good posture when it comes to sitting. So that's one of the things that I actually really liked is you have two different options of tilting it back, either just the back itself or tilting the entire chair itself. So I tilt the chair itself, and then the back is just tilted back, I think, one setting. And there's a lot of different settings too. So you can kind of lock it in certain ways to be able to sit comfortably however you feel. Let's see here. So the large angle adjuster, like I said, I just pulled that arm. It goes laying all the way back. You can lay almost completely flat. I'm not going to do that because I don't see myself ever really doing that. It's really cool to have that as an option, but maybe like if I'm on a break or a long phone call for work or something, I may just lean back and lay down and try not to fall asleep while in the chair. But it's something that I think it's a cool feature, but I don't think it's really something you use too often. So that's not something that went into the factor of this. So one other thing here is also the material it's made of. So there's other ones. There was a Titan chair that I liked. Yeah, Secret Labs Titan chair. I like that one a lot. There's two problems I had with that. There's no option for a fabric chair, and there's no option for shipping now. They do a back order, they wait until they have enough orders, and then they ship. So the one chair I really liked wasn't even going to ship until possibly May. I didn't want to wait that long. I bought my chair on a Saturday. They don't process after a certain time, and they don't process on weekends. So mine got processed on Monday. Today is Wednesday. It's already here. So it essentially took 2 days to get here, 3 if you want to count the day that they processed the order. So Monday, Tuesday, and it's here Wednesday. So that was pretty quick. But going back to the fabric thing is, so I live in a very hot state, Arizona, and in the summer months, the thing that I hate is leather chairs. I mean, we as Arizonans and natives don't buy leather chairs inside your car. You don't buy leather chairs for your home because it gets hot, it gets sweaty, it gets sticky, and it feels gross, and I hate it, and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I wanted to make sure that the chair that I got was going to be a fabric chair or a mesh chair. So going into the mesh chairs, someone recommended a Herman Miller chair, which I'm going to pull this one up real quick because this is a really cool chair and it adjusts like crazy, but the price tag of it is $820, as you can see here, and that's just the standard. You got a lot of different options you can add on to this chair, and it looks really nice. It looks really comfortable. Two problems I have with this: not only the price, but the mesh chairs over time tend to loosen up a lot. I don't know how great a quality Herman Miller is. They're probably really good. I mean, for $820, I would expect them to have a very durable chair that will stand the test of time. But for $820, I didn't want to chance it, and I didn't have a budget of that. I mean, there's no way I was going to spend $800 right now on a chair. $400 I thought was crazy. My wife didn't like the price tag. She's gone. She didn't like the price tag of it, but she knew, it's something that I'm gonna use a lot, 8+ hours almost every single day. So I wanted to make sure it was an investment in my money, not just buying something. And going back into the things that kind of factored into my choice was when I bought this chair, I actually was looking through trying to figure out what I wanted, and the racing style chair really appealed to me because I see a lot of the gamers play with it. It's at the conventions, and a lot of YouTubers use them. Of course, when you look at these videos, the reason these gamers and YouTubers and these conventions all have these chairs is because they get them for free. So they don't have to shell out $400 or $500 or $600 or $800 for a chair. They're going to get it for free. They're going to do a review. Oh, my honest review. You don't know if they're being honest or not. They're probably doing that because they got a free chair. I would too. I mean, if DXRacer saw this video and they said, "Hey, this is an awesome chair. We'd like to, refund your money or send you a new chair next time and give us another honest review," I would give you an honest review. I'm not gonna lie about it. But if they give it to me for free, that's gonna go into my review as a positive note because I'm not shelling out a whole bunch of money to pay for that chair. So. That's one of the things that I couldn't take a lot of weight of watching YouTube videos when I know it's big time YouTubers that got the chair for free. Not that I don't trust their opinion or trust their guidance or anything like that. It's just if you get something for free, that automatically gives it a pretty good rating in my book. If someone gave me a really good chair like this and it was for free, I'd probably give it a glowing review too. So honestly, going at the pros and cons of this chair, I've only had it for today, so I may do a follow-up review maybe in another 3, 6, 12 months, something like that. I don't know. I don't make videos that often. But so the cons, I'm going to go into the cons real quick, is it's high up, and I didn't know that buying the chair, but I'm okay with it. It just seems like the distance between the seat and the floor with the 3-inch PU roller chair caster wheels adds that little bit of room where some people have said you can buy an accessory, buy different rollers, and take that down just a little bit. It seems like a really good concept, but it just seems like this chair is pretty high up to begin with. I know some of the people that were getting the King chair or something else, the racer chairs, they stated that they don't have that problem. So maybe it's just my chair, or maybe it's my desk that's too low. But it definitely felt a big difference from my old chair to this chair when I first sat down, and my feet were just pretty much flat on the floor. And as soon as I kicked my foot underneath my leg, my other foot was just dangling in the air. So it's not a big negative thing, but it is one of the cons when I first sat in it. Another con is, as you can see in the picture, they actually changed the padding here. This headrest is kind of comfortable. That's the thing with this headrest, is I don't think I'm going to use it that much, and I actually changed it. So I had it strapped on the top part here. I took it out and I strapped it through the 2 little holes here. So I don't know if you could see that, but I put it through the 2 little holes to bring it down just a little bit, so it's actually hitting my shoulder blades. My head will hit it, and then just sit there. That it's actually very comfortable while I'm sitting here watching a show, because I can just kind of sit back, lean back in the chair a little bit more. I unlock it, let it rock, and just sit back and relax. So it is very comfortable for that. The lumbar is a bit thick, and I'm sure over time it's going to wear down. It's going to thin out a little bit more, but right now it's really just pushing at my lower back, and it really kind of gets uncomfortable after a while. I had it for probably the first hour or so in the day. Then I took it off because it was becoming very uncomfortable, and then as I used the chair for the rest of the day, by the end of the day my back was kind of hurting, so I added it back on right now, and it takes some getting used to. You got to slide it up and down. The straps go through the bottom part of the chair, wrap all the way through the holes in the back of the chair, and you strap them down, and then you can just adjust it up and down wherever it gets comfortable. So I actually sit there and play with it throughout the time I'm sitting in the chair to try and find out that sweet spot. I actually have it in the sweet spot right now, and it feels pretty good. So it's a little bit low towards my butt, and it feels a little bit better because then my lower back doesn't feel like it's hurting as much. So I'll probably leave it in now that I finally found that sweet spot. Let's see here. What else? There's not a lot of cons with this one, I'm going to be honest with you. The chair itself is very thick, very durable. It feels very nice. It's of course very tough right now, because it's brand new. It hasn't been broken in. It doesn't have my butt impression in on it yet, but it'll take a little bit of time, but I'm sure I'll be able to wear that down and get that nice imprint in there and be able to sit very comfortably. I think as far as the base there, it doesn't factor in at all. I don't really think about the base at all. Every once in a while, I'll kick my foot back and I'll put my foot on the thing. These little dots here on here is something that it's a little black plastic piece that you push and put on the red plastic piece that goes on the base itself. So it's actually two plastic pieces in there. So I guess you could leave the black pieces off if you don't like it. I think it kind of helps with when you have shoes, and it gives you just a little bit of grip right there in case you want to prop that foot on the base. So no pros, no cons there. Looking at the wheels, of course, that's a pro for me. I love how quiet they are. They are 3 inches, so a little big, but I'm not going to complain about that because it actually kind of helps, and the chair moves around very easily. It's very nice. Tilting mechanism, that's definitely a pro. I love the fact that I can lock the tilt in wherever I want, pretty much. It's got different settings to it, so you can lock it in just about anywhere. So that's really nice. I like it. The tension on that is set to the max when I got it, so pushing it back was quite hard and it wouldn't stay. I loosened that right up and it feels great. I mean, it's got just enough where I can lean back and sit in a position, and then as soon as I just start leaning forward, it brings me right back up. So you sit there and you twist that knob right underneath the chair and get that tension right where it needs to be, and it's perfect. The metal frame, I don't feel it. I don't notice it, but I'm sure in the long run that's going to be a pro as well because it's going to stand up the test of time, like I said. It's going to be durable, and I'm sure in 6 to 12 months, if I do another review, it's going to be still sitting here and it'll be fully functional like it was already. As far as like the ergonomics of this chair, this probably isn't the way to go. I mean, if you're really big on posture and making sure you're sitting right, I think the combination of the pillow that they give you for lumbar, the back pillow for your head, and the way the back of the chair is made probably doesn't work well for posture, but it does feel pretty nice right now. Like I said, I've gotten into that sweet spot. It's comfortable right now. My back doesn't have any pain right now. My butt feels great because it's more cushioned than it was before with the other chair I was sitting in. So it's a good chair overall, I think. So overall, like I said, I'd say this is worth the $400. I will try to do a review later on to give you an update of what I feel about the chair after sitting in it for 3, 6, or 12 months. We'll see if I remember to do a video. But yeah, overall, I mean, it's really nice, and if that's your budget, $400. Sentinel's great. The king the king chair is also great. But most of the thing to keep in mind is you want to look at those preferences. What's the biggest thing you're looking for in a chair? Mine was first budget. Second, the seat itself, to make sure that it had enough area for me to sit on. I kind of felt a little self-conscious about it, but I kind of felt like I was a little bit wider in the butt area. But when I'm sitting in this chair, I don't really feel like that way. It was just when I took the measurements and saw it online, I thought 16.5 inches, yeah, my butt ain't going to fit on that. But like I said, 5'9", 250 pounds, I feel comfortable in the chair. I still got room to spare on the sides. The little sides that stick up on the side of the chair on the seat don't poke or anything like that, so it feels really good. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully this helped you out. If you like it, hit the like button, I guess. I don't know, I'm not a YouTuber, so you don't have to like it, you don't have to subscribe. You can just view the video, find it useful. Maybe leave a comment if you think it's useful. If you think I can do better things with videos, I don't know that I'm going to become some kind of YouTuber, but if you like the video or want to leave a comment, go for it. It's your prerogative. Alright. Take care, moggers.